want kids to be able to hold a toy that doesn't have bells and whistles, it doesn't light up, it doesn't make noise, but is reminiscent of what their great-grandfather would have played with or their grandfather would have played with. I call them junkyard bots, but I don't really go to junkyards and dig around in junkyards. I don't want them to be perfect. I want them to have that little bit of rust or a dent or some imperfections. It has to be an antique, down to the smallest piece that I use. I use old roller skates, lots of old tin toys, license plates, old bicycle parts. Other than the bolts and the screws and things that I use, everything's an antique. Do you want to see the very first one I made? I was out in my garage and I found this little, it's a snake bite kit. And I opened it up and it had all this cool stuff in there, like a bulb and a tourniquet and a razor blade. And so I just started playing around with this. Oh, what can I use as arms? And you know, my first version of this one, I think his legs were all glued together and he promptly fell apart. I don't limit myself to robots. I do a lot of animals. I do rocket ships. I do ray guns. So it's not just robots, but for the most part, robots. I don't know. I've always had a fascination with them. They're just so fun and quirky and they're cute and there's just something about it. This is the car that I made for my grandson. He's really into Transformers, so I wanted the wheels to fold in, and then it's got wings that come out. This is the kind of thing I really hope that it's something he keeps forever. You know you want to play with this, don't you? I was a paralegal for, 24 years, 24 years before I did this. You know, I was raising children too, so I was a mom first. I was diagnosed with breast cancer when I was, 2016. I was in Colorado with my family at the time and got the call. Came back home 2 weeks later. I had major surgery, had 13 surgeries that same year. I was dealing with a lot of pain and you know, just struggling. I was not supposed to lift anything over 5 pounds. But when I was recovering at home, it forced me to be still. God chose to let me experience being diagnosed with cancer, and although cancer can be such a terrible thing, and it was bad, but it was the cancer that kind of gave me that little kick and said, I don't want to spend my life sitting at a desk. I really don't. I want to do something creative, and so that's kind of what sent me in this direction. But I'm completely clear now. I'm healthy and happy, happier than I've ever been. I really am.